The dust hasn't settled yet at Heartland Ranch, and the past still echoes louder than ever. In the next chapter of Season 19, everything you thought was calm is about to be tested. Secrets rise, hearts tremble, and new faces bring new storms. Episode 2 isn't just another story. It's the turning point, the one that could change everything for the Fleming family, forever. The morning sun spills gently across the Heartland Ranch, painting the fields in gold. Horses graze quietly, the wind dances through the trees, and for a moment, peace seems possible. But as every fan knows, peace never lasts long at Heartland. Beneath the calm skies, something is building. An emotional storm waiting to break. Amy Fleming stands near the stables, her hand resting softly on the mane of a young horse. The same fire still burns in her eyes, the passion that drives her to heal, to connect, to never give up. Yet there's something different about her now. She's quieter, more thoughtful. The loss she's endured still lingers in her heart, shaping every move she makes. But Amy is not one to give in to pain. She turns it into purpose. In the distance, Jack Bartlett watches her. The old cowboy knows the look in Amy's eyes all too well. It's the same determination he's carried his whole life, to keep the family together no matter how rough things get. But Jack's heart is heavy too. The family's been through a lot, and as much as he wants to protect them, he knows he can't stop time or fate. His words to Amy are simple yet powerful. Sometimes moving on doesn't mean forgetting. It means forgiving yourself. Meanwhile, Lou struggles to balance her duties as both mayor and sister. The phone never stops ringing, the paperwork never ends, and somewhere in the chaos, she's starting to wonder if she's losing sight of who she is. Episode 2 teases more of her internal battle, between the leader the town needs and the woman her family misses. We catch a glimpse of her alone in her office late at night, staring out at the dark skyline, asking herself if the sacrifices are worth it. And then there's Tim, restless, frustrated, and haunted by the mistakes of his past. He tries to fix things the only way he knows how, head on. But this time, his words might hurt more than they heal. His relationship with Jessica feels distant, strained by unspoken tension. Episode 2 gives us flashes, a harsh argument in the barn, a door slamming, and silence that says more than words ever could. The ranch feels familiar yet different, as if the ghosts of old memories still ride the wind. You can almost hear the echo of Ty's laughter in the distance, a reminder of everything Amy once had and lost. It's not just a ranch, it's a place of healing, heartbreak, and hope. And as the episode begins, that hope flickers once again. Fragile, but alive. The first few moments of episode 2 set the stage for something emotional, something raw. It's a promise to the audience that this season isn't afraid to dig deep. Every character stands on the edge of change, and the question is, who will take the leap, and who will hold back? The calm is over. The storm is coming, and at Heartland, every storm brings a new beginning. The dust from the last episode hasn't quite settled. Episode 1 left fans holding their breath, and Episode 2 picks up those broken pieces one by one. Every choice made, every word left unsaid, is about to come back in ways no one expects. We remember how Amy faced the challenge of helping a troubled horse. Not just a rescue, but a reflection of herself. That horse's pain mirrored her own heart. She pushed through the fear, the grief, and the loneliness, because that's what Amy does best. She heals others even when she's still healing herself. But Episode 2 reminds us that even the strongest hearts can crack. There's a moment, brief but heavy, when she looks out at the open fields. The same fields she once shared with Ty. And you can feel that silence say everything she can't. Lou, on the other hand, tried to stand tall as Hudson's mayor. But the world she built in politics is starting to shake. In the last episode, we saw her juggling too many responsibilities, being a mother, a sister, and a leader. The cracks began to show. And now, in Episode 2, those cracks might become fault lines. A late-night meeting turns tense. Her voice trembles, not from fear but from exhaustion. She's been fighting to prove herself for so long that she's forgotten how to breathe. Tim's story, too, lingers from the last episode. His pride often builds walls instead of bridges, and those walls are starting to close in. There's a haunting scene teased in the trailer. Tim alone in the dark barn, gripping a photo from years ago. You can almost hear his heart breaking beneath the weight of regret. His silence isn't peace, it's punishment. He's not just facing the ghosts of his past, he's trying to forgive the man in the mirror. And then there's Jack, the quiet soul who holds this family together, even as his own heart carries its share of scars. The last episode reminded us of his wisdom, his patience, his unshakable love for the ranch and the people in it. But even Jack can't control time. Episode 2 shows him looking out at the horizon, realizing that the next generation is growing faster than he can protect them. The world around Heartland is changing, and he's trying to find his place in it. There's something poetic about how Heartland tells its stories, how every small moment feels larger than life. The flicker of a lantern in the barn, a soft laugh over dinner, the sound of hooves in the distance. They're not just scenes, they're memories. And as episode 2 begins, those memories rise like ghosts, reminding every character who they are and what they've lost along the way. But the beauty of Heartland is that it never stays dark for long. Even in the pain, there's always a spark of light, a reason to hope, a reason to keep riding forward. Episode 2 promises not just to revisit old wounds, but to show how they can finally start to heal. Because at Heartland, the past isn't something you run from. It's something you ride through, one sunrise at a time. The screen fades from black, a single heartbeat echoes. Then, the sound of hooves pounding across the open plains. Dust swirls in golden light as Amy rides across the Heartland ranch, her eyes fixed on something ahead we can't yet see. That's how the trailer opens. Silent, powerful, and full of questions. The Heartland Season 19, Episode 2. Trailer doesn't waste a single second. Every frame feels like a promise, and every promise comes with a cost. It begins with Amy, standing alone near the river. The water ripples gently, reflecting her face, calm on the outside, but storming within. She whispers, "Sometimes you can't fix everything, even when your heart wants to." Her voice is steady, but her eyes say otherwise. Then the music rises, a slow, haunting violin that turns into a rush of strings as we see glimpses of what's coming. Lou walking through the town hall, papers in her hands, tension written across her face. A heated argument flashes between her and a council member. Their voices blurred, but their anger clear. She slams her hand on the desk, a rare moment of raw emotion from someone who's always tried to stay composed. Next, we see Jack. The trailer cuts to him sitting on the porch at sunset, his hat tilted low, his thoughts heavy. "You can't hold on forever," he says softly, almost to himself. His words feel like a warning, not just to Amy, but to everyone watching. There's a sense that change is coming. And this time, it won't be gentle. A quick montage follows, horses running wild, thunder rolling over the mountains, and Amy's voice narrating through it all. Heartland has always been about second chances. But what if this time we don't get one? Then the trailer slows again. A mysterious figure steps out of a pickup truck. A new face, unfamiliar but intriguing. Fans have already begun to wonder, who is this newcomer? A ranch hand? A rival? Or someone from Amy's past? The trailer doesn't say. It just lingers long enough to make you ask. In the next shot, Tim is seen training at the rodeo grounds. His frustration shows in every move. He throws his helmet to the ground, walks away from the ring, and mutters under his breath, "I thought I could handle it, but maybe I can't." His vulnerability is rare, and it hits hard. It's a reminder that even the toughest men have limits. The trailer then shifts tone, softer, almost tender. We see a quiet moment between Amy and her daughter, Lindy. They're brushing a horse together, and Lindy looks up, asking a question that makes Amy pause. The look on her face tells us this season will touch on more than just life at the ranch. It's about how parents teach strength through love, even when their own hearts are uncertain. As the music swells, the trailer ends on a breathtaking shot. Amy riding under a stormy sky, lightning flashing behind her, wind tearing through her hair. The camera pans wide. Heartland spread out beneath her like a living memory. Then silence, just the soft crackle of thunder. And finally, the words appear. Heartland, Season 19. Episode 2. The Storm Brings Truth. This isn't just a sneak peek. It's a warning that Episode 2 will test every bond, challenge every promise, and remind fans why Heartland stories never fade. The trailer doesn't shout for attention. It whispers, and somehow, that makes it unforgettable. Every story at Heartland begins and ends with its people, the souls that keep the ranch alive. Episode 2 doesn't just show what they do, it shows who they're becoming. Behind every smile, there's a story untold. Behind every silence, there's a battle being fought. Amy Fleming stands at the heart of it all. Once the girl who healed horses, now the woman learning to heal herself. In Episode 2, Amy's quiet strength becomes her greatest challenge. She's always been the light for others, guiding lost horses, guiding lost hearts. But this time the light flickers. We see her in the stable, brushing down a horse that refuses to trust anyone. It mirrors her own struggle, the fear of opening up again. Yet even in pain, there's grace in the way she carries herself. Her voice is gentle, her actions honest. Amy doesn't need to shout to be strong. She just needs to keep showing up. And she does. Every time. Jack Bartlett, the soul of Heartland, continues to be the silent guardian. His wisdom has carried generations through storms, but even he can't escape time. In Episode 2, Jack faces what every family elder eventually must. The truth that he can't protect everyone forever. There's a scene in the trailer where he walks past Ty's old truck. He stops, looks at it for a moment, and sighs. Not in sadness, but acceptance. Jack isn't just a man holding on to the past. He's learning how to let go without losing what matters. His quiet moments say more than any speech could. Lou Fleming, as always, is torn between worlds. The one that demands her leadership, and the one that needs her love. The weight of responsibility shows on her face, but she refuses to break. In Episode 2, her story becomes more personal. There's a scene teased where she's at the dinner table, surrounded by family laughter, yet her eyes drift away, lost in thoughts of everything she's missing. She's learning that leadership isn't about control, it's about connection. And maybe for Lou, that's the hardest lesson of all. Tim Fleming. Strong, stubborn, flawed. The kind of man who tries to fix everything except himself. In Episode 2, Tim's walls begin to crack. We see flashes of regret, of guilt, of the man behind the pride. There's a powerful shot of him standing under the pouring rain, hat in hand, eyes closed, as if washing away years of mistakes. He's learning what it means to truly face himself, and for once, not run away. Even the younger generation begins to take shape in this episode. Lindy, with her innocence and wonder, becomes the quiet heartbeat of the story. Through her eyes, we see hope. The belief that no matter how dark life gets, there's always light somewhere on the ranch. Her laughter becomes Amy's strength, her curiosity a mirror of what Heartland has always stood for. Faith in family, love, and new beginnings. What makes Heartland unforgettable isn't the drama. It's the emotion that lives between the lines. A shared glance across the dinner table, the sound of boots on wooden floors, the small, wordless moments that tell us everything about who these people are. Episode 2 shines a light on those moments, the ones that remind us why we've followed this family for 19 seasons. Because in the end, it's not just about horses or heartbreak. It's about people learning, growing, and finding courage in the quietest corners of life. At Heartland, every character is still searching for peace, for forgiveness, for home. And in Episode 2, those searches collide in ways that promise to change everything. Every episode of Heartland carries a message, but Episode 2 feels different. Heavier, deeper, more personal. It's not just about what happens on the ranch, it's about what happens inside the hearts of the people who call it home. This time the battles aren't fought in the fields. They're fought in silence, in memories, and in choices that can't be undone. At its core, Episode 2 explores one powerful theme: change. Change that doesn't ask for permission. Change that forces you to look in the mirror and decide who you want to be. Amy's journey captures this perfectly. She's learning that healing isn't a straight road. Some days it feels like progress. Other days like starting over. There's a scene where she helps a horse trapped in a fence. The animal frightened, confused, fighting against help. It's more than just a rescue. It's a reflection of herself. Sometimes we resist the very things meant to save us. Then there's forgiveness. Another thread that runs through this episode like a quiet heartbeat. Tim is haunted by his past, but Episode 2 doesn't let him hide from it. The tension between him and Jessica grows thicker, each word sharper than the last. Yet, beneath the anger lies something softer. The pain of two people who still care, but don't know how to say it. It's not just about forgiving each other. It's about forgiving themselves. Family remains the anchor, as always. The Flemings don't always agree, but when the world outside feels uncertain, the ranch becomes their shelter. Lou's struggle shows us the cost of responsibility, the toll of being the one everyone depends on. Her storyline is a quiet reminder that strength doesn't mean never breaking down. It means learning how to rebuild after you do. Episode 2 also brings in the theme of legacy. Jack's moments in this episode carry the weight of years gone by. He's the bridge between what Heartland was and what it's becoming. There's a powerful shot of him mending an old saddle, the leather worn, the stitches coming loose. It's symbolic. He's trying to hold the family together, one thread at a time, even as time itself tries to pull them apart. But maybe the most emotional theme of all is hope. Fragile, yet unbreakable. Through every hardship, every tear, hope keeps the story alive. Heartland has never been about perfect endings. It's about the courage to keep going when life doesn't go as planned. Amy's laughter with Lindy, Lou's quiet smile after a long day, Jack's gentle advice. They remind us that hope doesn't come from grand moments. It lives in the small ones. The conflicts in Episode 2 don't explode with shouting matches or wild drama. They unfold slowly, through glances, pauses, and choices that speak louder than words. The real tension comes from love itself. Love that's complicated, messy, and real. The kind that hurts, but also heals. By the end of this episode, every character will be standing at a crossroads. Some will hold on, some will let go, but all of them will learn that life doesn't stop for anyone. And maybe that's the true beauty of Heartland. It mirrors the world we live in. It reminds us that every argument, every heartbreak, every second chance, it all matters. Because in the end, the greatest battles are the ones fought within the heart. The wait is almost over. The fields of Heartland are quiet now, but that silence won't last long. In just days, the ranch will come alive again, with new stories, new heartbreaks, and the kind of hope only Heartland can give. Season 19, Episode 2 isn't just another chapter. It's the one that brings everything into focus. The trailer ends, but its echoes stay. Fans can already feel it. The tension, the warmth, the promise of something unforgettable. You can sense it in Amy's eyes, in the wind sweeping across the ranch, in the sound of a horse galloping through open fields. Something's coming, and it's closer than ever. Mark your calendars because Episode 2 arrives this Sunday on CBC and CBC Gem, and it's set to stir hearts like never before. The story continues right where we left off, diving deeper into the emotions that define this family. Love, loss, forgiveness, and the quiet strength to keep moving forward. Every second of this episode has been crafted with the care and honesty that made Heartland what it is today. A show that doesn't just entertain, but connects. It reminds us of who we are, of the bonds that hold us, and of the courage it takes to start over. Whether you've watched from the very first season or just joined the journey, Episode 2 promises to touch something in you, something real. The cast has hinted at what's to come, and it's clear this episode won't be easy to forget. Expect emotional confrontations, unexpected reunions, and quiet moments that speak louder than any words. the kind that make you pause and remember why Heartland has stayed in your heart for so many years. So, as the countdown begins, take a deep breath. The ranch is waiting, the horses are restless, and somewhere under that wide Alberta sky, the next chapter is ready to unfold. Because Heartland isn't just a show, it's a feeling, a place that reminds us that even after every heartbreak, life still finds a way to bloom again. When Episode 2 premieres, the world will pause for just a moment, to return home, to Heartland. As the screen begins to fade, we return to the sound that started it all, the soft whinny of a horse, the whisper of the wind across the fields. The light of dawn creeps over the ranch, golden and still. It's the calm after the storm, or maybe the beginning of a new one. Every heartbeat in Heartland tells a story of love that refuses to fade, of families that bend but never break, of people who fall, who fail, and still find the strength to stand again. Episode 2 isn't just another hour of television. It's a reminder of why this show has touched millions for nearly 2 decades. Because behind every frame, there's truth. Behind every character, there's someone we see in ourselves. The journey continues, not because everything is perfect, but because it's real. Amy's courage, Lou's determination, Jack's wisdom, Tim's redemption. They're not just parts of a script. They're reflections of life itself. Each one reminds us that no matter how hard things get, there's always something worth holding on to. As the final scenes of the trailer linger, a single line echoes, "Home isn't a place. It's the people who stand beside you when the storm hits." And that's what Heartland is. A home that never leaves you, even when the episode ends. So, as Episode 2 approaches, fans everywhere are waiting to cry, to smile, to feel something real again. Because Heartland doesn't just tell stories, it rekindles memories. It reminds us of our own families, our own struggles, our own moments of courage. The trailer ends with the camera pulling back, wide, breathtaking, endless. The ranch sits beneath the Alberta sky, glowing in the light of a new day. A voice whispers softly over the wind, "This is Heartland, where every ending is a new beginning." The music swells, gentle piano, a hint of violin, and the screen fades to black.